What's your relationship like with alcohol?
That is a very good question. I would say when I wanted to take my life, I realised that I was using drink and drugs to escape my brain. And I'd notice over time that I was always the one that was most fucked. I was the one that was playing up. I was the one that was doing the drugs or whatever. Yeah. Where other people just weren't. Yeah. So that since I've gone through, I say my recovery or my journey with my head, I've always been quite scared of alcohol because I know that that is my escapism, yeah. But also, if it gets to a point where I'm like, I am not participating in drinking because I want to have a drink, it's because I want to get out of my head, then I'll just knock it on the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have the different able to differentiate between just going for a couple of drinks and getting absolutely smashed?
Oh, right, okay, I see the question. No.
No.
So if I'm going to have a drink, yeah,
You're having a
I'm
drink.
having a drink, right?
Yeah.
But it is, for me, it's like, am I just getting out of my head? Or am I trying to create an opportunity to get out of my head? Yeah. Or am I doing it because I want to just go and have fun?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's really not easy to...
You want that cut-off point, don't you? For me, like I could go with my missus for a couple of beers with some food and that'd be it. But if you go with the boys, like a lot of the time I'll just say I'm simply just not drinking.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you go with the boys, like there's nothing better than being with the lads, having a few drinks, chatting shit, and just having a laugh.
100%.
But you get to like 5, 6 beers and then it just gets completely out of control.
Yeah.
And then by the time you know it, it's 3 days later, you feel fucking shit.
Yeah.
So like, why is it, as men in particular, can we not just go for a few beers and then just stop and go home? Why is it that it continues and then you just feel wank the next day or the day after?
If I'm honest, I think it's because we're idiots. Do you know what I mean? Like, I genuinely do.
Because women have they have the ability to
they're
just
like
go for a few
more,
drinks, come home, and go to bed.
Yeah, they're like very more civilized. Yeah. Whereas I think with men, it's like more fun's happening.
Yeah.
I'm more excited.
Yeah.
Drink more. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing ever good happens after 12 o'clock.
That is actually. I used to be like, that's absolute rubbish, but it's the most true saying ever. Like everything, and especially what I've noticed is when you don't drink, you get tired like early in the night. So everyone else is getting more pissed and you're just like sober, tired, start getting hungry, they start chatting more shit. So it's almost like your tolerance for the shit chat goes down and their shit chat goes up. So it's like, and then obviously, it comes to 12 o'clock and then it's literally like, right, what bar are we kicking on to next or whatever. And you're just like dragged along with it.
We did it the other day. Joe was with us and we went out. So I've got 3 best men because I couldn't choose between the 3 of them.
Yeah.
So we went for some food and Joe joined us after. And then it got a bit out of hand.
Yeah.
And then we all said to each other the next day, like, we had such a good time at the meal. We had a laugh. We had a few beers. And then it got, like, why didn't we just go home after that?
Do you know what though? For me, if I didn't have the hangover, because the first time I stopped drinking alcohol, I had a realisation that when I was in Australia, I had mates that were in their normal jobs, whatever, getting a salary, whereas I was working for myself. And UFC on a Sunday is a huge thing in Australia.
Right.
So you'd all go out, everyone would get smashed. They'd go work next day hungover, and I'd just be in bed.
Because you didn't have anyone to answer to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then that would be Monday, Tuesday, struggling with a hangover. Wednesday, sort of coming round to it. Thursday, all right, work day. Friday, well, I'm planning my weekend now. So it's like, and this Friday, Australia, sun's out. So it's like, I'm trying to make, or say I'm doing work, but it's the least amount possible,
You got your laptop out and just...
Yeah, exactly. So in my head, I was like, I'm losing too many days, I can't do this. But I don't know, I just think that
That was the same for me, because I remember 21 to 24, like most 20-year-old, I'll go out every weekend, get smashed.
Yeah.
Like, I was doing all right. I was working for my dad at this point. I was in sales, and I was doing all right. I wasn't doing great. I wasn't doing bad. And then I started. One of my best friends, Elliot, he sent me a Snapchat. It was like 8 o'clock at night, and he was still working. I was like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "I'm working. Like I'm serious." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then I started, and he said to me, like, I was like, not in a boastful way, because he's not like that, but he was like, "Fucking hell, mate, I did like 20 grand last month."
Yeah.
I was like, "You what?"
Yeah.
He was like, yeah. And then I'm like I'm putting a correlation between he's up until 8 o'clock and he just earned that amount of money. And I was like, right, if you want to earn that amount of money, then you got to do that fucking hard work.
Yeah.
And then I started doing that, and then I started seeing an increase in my earnings. And then I started to take life more seriously, business more seriously. And then the drinking became less and less and less, because I saw that, like you've just said, if I was going out on a Saturday, then I wasn't going to be able to do, 10, 12 hours on a Monday.
100%, yeah.
And then my dad, and then I was getting more and more serious with the business. And then I was saying to my dad, like, I'm doing all the work, like, what's happening?
Yeah,
and then my dad retired. And then I remember I went out one weekend, and I'd try and get in the office for like 8 o'clock, so I'd be up at 6. I could not get up.
Yeah.
I couldn't get out of bed. And I was like, fuck that. I'm not doing that again.
Because I think that's the trade-off, yeah? Like, for me, my mates are class, yeah? If I go out with them, I know I'm having a good time when I'm out, yeah? But what is more exciting to me, yeah? Do I get more excited about building something, helping people every single day, trying to add value to people's lives, building for my future, yeah? Or, let me just go and sink 12 pints down the pub.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, there is nothing wrong with doing that. And I don't want to sound like I'm demonising.
You don't want to demonize it, yeah.
Exactly, because I love doing that.
Yeah.
But also...
It's the repercussions of the next day, isn't it?
And it's also like, I am built this way, where I want to run a business, whereas not everyone wants to do that. And that's absolutely fine, yeah? And that probably lends its hand better to going down the pub, sinking 12 pints 3 times a week, yeah? Good. But for me personally, it's just, it's not a sacrifice that I'm willing to make, especially throughout the entirety of the year. Because I do notice huge differences with my focus, productivity when I'm not drinking than when I do.
Do you have a lot of people do dry Jan? Is that a thing for you, or is it just you pick and choose when you want to drink and not drink?
So I wanted to do a year, I think it was 2023. Yeah, 2023 I wanted to do a year. Ended up doing 16 months. Then I was going to continue. The only reason I started drinking, it was April last year, was one of my best mates' dads passed away. And he was a big drinker, yeah? So we had like so many good memories. A lot of the people he knew were big drinkers as well. So at the wake, I was like, sorry, I'm just going to have a drink. But what I think is mental, like 16 months is a long time, and you think, I've obviously unlearned all of the habits that I had before, but as soon as you get the taste, you're like straight back there. And then it almost takes me to get to a point where I'm getting obliterated, where I'm like, right, I need to rein this in again. And knock it on the head. But I am not really one to be like, if I've got a goal in my mind, like, don't get me wrong, I'll be like, by the end of 2025, I want to achieve X, Y, and Z. But I started in November, stopping drinking till May, because I think there's not going to be a harder time than Christmas not to drink. So why don't I challenge myself?
So you went through Christmas without a drink?
Yeah. So I'll be why don't I challenge myself with that?
Yeah.
Because if I can do that, what is going to, from now till May, what's going to come up that is harder than Christmas to drink? Nothing. So it's done.